We are CrowdFund Fast, and our company is all about uniting people, inspiring people, and empowering people around the globe. It's about a movement, and there's a bigger vision behind CFFs and probably what most of you have heard or maybe understand, but it is about changing our economy, changing our financial futures, and using a very solid, several solid type of platforms to achieve this. And basically, we just think it's time to work together to create a better future through business. Everybody, probably who is on this call, unless you're just totally new to networking, have probably experienced multiple, at least one business that you've gone into. You had high hopes for it. You thought everything was great, solid. It was going to be here for many, many years, only to wake up one day and see that it's gone. And so we wanted to make sure that when we created CrowdFund Fast, and this goes all the way back almost 3 years ago when we started creating the Kukadu platform. Kukadu is the parent company of all of our platforms. And so we've taken a lot of time to build our platforms and to make them solid and to be sure that they would be here for many, many years as we go through and we work together on business. When we talk about crowdfunding, everybody knows that at some point in time in your life, you're going to experience challenges. Everybody at one time or another experience that bumpy road in your life. One of your challenges, and oftentimes it's lack of funding for whatever it is that happens to be going on in your life, whether it's medical, whether it's something that you need to get caught up on bills, whether it's, remodeling your home, putting a child through college, school clothes, just bills, whatever, your challenge is. What we have found over the last several years when crowdfunding really took its place on the internet is that a lot of people turn to crowdfunding for help, and they use the platforms like Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and Indiegogo. The problem is that those platforms are not successful for the average person. So statistics, and you can go look up online and do your research, show that traditional crowdfunding does not work for most folks. And I'm of the opinion that panhandling is not the answer. I'm a very opinionated person. Some of you may know that about me. Some of you may not. I feel like we already live in a society where people are so prone to laziness that when you're almost encouraging it through the crowdfunding platforms when you're going out and asking for donations. Not to say that some of the people who need the crowdfunding, yeah, absolutely, you're going to go ask your friends and your family to help. But the problem is, where do you go from there when you've exhausted that list of friends and family? And if you don't have a large network of people, it leaves you with a project or a campaign that's been unfunded. So 80% of crowdfunding projects that are launched fail to reach their funding goals. That 80% walk away empty-handed. So we have a solution to the crowdfunding barriers that stand in your way. Now you can take those challenges and you can turn them into a funding success story. So what we've done is we've taken one of the most lucrative money makers online and we've opened it to you. You guys have heard of BZID, you've heard of Deal Dash, you've heard of Quibids. They are advertised on national TV. They make millions and millions upon millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. If we probably really did our research over a year's span, selling their products through a penny auction platform. I see them on TV all the time. So what we've done is we have taken our platform and we have opened it up to you. Your product purchases at our CFF brand store is going to give you credits to sell on our penny auction, Kukabid. When you refer friends to Kukabids, we're going to give you some free bids, and you guys can invite and refer as many of your friends and your family as you can, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sharing your projects and your products, okay? And people are going to come in, they're going to bid on them. We're going to go into detail in this webinar so you guys understand exactly how everything works. So what we've discussed so far is that traditional crowdfunding is seeking donations, but CFF is crowdfunding through product sales. So we're going to be opening up a venue for you where you're going to be able to earn funding through product sales on our penny auction. So when you're funding projects through penny auction and e-commerce sales, and you're not just out there asking for donations, you're going to increase your chances of total funding probably more funding for your project than what you would if you were using the traditional crowdfunding platforms. What's even more exciting to me, and this is going back to the beginning of our webinar when I said crowdfunding has a bigger vision than probably what most of you realize. It's about making a better economy for everybody. So as you're creating your projects and you're getting the funding for your projects, what are you going to do? You're going to have to call on somebody to do the work that you need done, whatever it might be, whether it be for a service that you need provided, whether it's, to have, construction work done, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be involving people. And so you're going to be stimulating the economy. You're going to be creating jobs through your projects that are being funded. So to me, that's exciting because, and I was on a conversation with Laura and Candace last night. There's times when I feel guilty and I drive down into the city, and depending on what vehicle I'm driving, sometimes I don't want to even look when I see people standing on the corner because I'm embarrassed that they're standing on that corner and I'm driving in a car that's completely paid for. A lot of people say, yeah, but they chose that. Well, not everybody wanted that lifestyle. Not everybody chose to be that way. Some people just get stuck in a really bad situation and they can't get out of it. They can't find a way out of it. That leads us back into what I was saying, and I call them crapshoot companies. You get involved in a networking business. If it goes away, you've done that for a reason. You've done that because you wanted to supplement your income. You wanted to make more money. You wanted to make better money. Or maybe you were just having a hard time finding that job. When it all goes away and the floor is removed from underneath you, where does that leave you? And then you've got to try to climb out of it. And it's the same way for a lot of people that get stuck and they're not in a good place. And so that's what we want to do through CrowdFund Fast. We want to really reach out and help people. While you're helping other people, you're also helping yourself. And so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So we're going to show you now how you're going to be able to grow your CFF project funding campaigns, how you're going to be able to reach those funding goals and the tools that we're giving you to help you do that. So we start out, first of all, with our CFF brand canvas art. Okay. And this art will change the lives of people around the globe because every time somebody purchases one of the canvases in the CFF brand store, projects are getting funded. So we are fortunate enough that the artwork that we get is at awesome prices. Okay. And so we are able to take those profits and we are able to share them and fund projects with them. So first and foremost, you're funding projects through product sales. So every single time a product is sold through the CF brand store, projects are being funded. Every sale will fund 3 projects. When you make a purchase on the CFF brand store, we're going to open our penny auction platform to you for additional funding. For the first time, you get to be on the receiving end of a penny auction. You can leverage the product sales from our penny auction in our store for your funding. So what we're going to do when you make a purchase at the CFF brand store, we're going to give you some bids to go play at the auction and win some items. But we're also going to partner up with you and we're going to allow you to sell products on that penny auction. We're going to have a catalog that you're going to be able to select products for yourself to sell on the Cupid penny auction website. And if those of you that don't want to pick your own products, we've got staff that will do that for you. They'll assign products to your auction, and those will be the products that are assigned to your project through the duration, of your funding. And we'll explain that further. And we've got everything, from electronics to gift cards to computers and laptops to kitchenware, jewelry, sporting goods, you name it. We've got everything that you could possibly imagine that you can sell on the penny auction platform. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of control there. If there's certain products that you want to sell, you're going to be able to choose those. And there's some people that they don't want to be bothered with the hassle of that. That's fine too. We will select the products for you and put them on the auction on your behalf. So this business model is 100% product sales, and those product sales are going to fund your projects. Okay, so everybody who comes to the penny auction, there's products being sold. Everybody who goes to the CFF brand store, there's products being sold. There's going to be an auction store. All right, so when your products sell, if the person that wins that product wants to flip it into the store, they're going to be able to make more money. They're going to be able to resell the product they just won. And that goes for everybody here as well that has products on the auction. We're giving you bids. You could go bid, and when you win, you can have the product shipped to you or to whoever you want to gift it to, because you'll give us the shipping details, or you can flip it into the store and you can sell it again as a resell. So everyone walks away a winner, the bidder, you, and CFF. And we are also in the process, and we'll give you the details on this closer to the first week of August. We are going to make it so flippin' solid that even the people who come to the site and bid never walk away empty-handed. One of the problems that makes penny auctions high risk is that people will buy umpteen amounts of bids. They go in, they bid on products, and then they didn't win anything, and so they do a chargeback. We want to alleviate any possible problem that could ever arise with this business model. So we are now currently working on a way to make sure everybody receives a product. Even if you come to the site and you bought bids and you didn't win a product, you're still going to be able to walk away with something. And we'll give you the details on that as we move further along. So it's very simple. When you have joined our CrowdFund Fast platform to create your project, the things that you're going to want to do is, number one, decide how much funding your project needs. Then you're going to want to create your product. Then you're going to start selling products on our penny auction website. And don't get overwhelmed, okay? The selling your products on our penny auction website is virtually hands-off for you. It is something that we manage on your behalf. Basically, the only thing that you really need to worry about is if you've got products yourself that you would like to sell, that you get that information to us as soon as possible, because we will put your products on the auction to sell if you have products. And we'll have other members that will be able to sell those products as well. Or if there's certain things that you think you'd like to sell that's in our catalog, we're going to allow you to have some, look at what those products are and give us some ideas of what you'd like attached to those. But as far as actually having to physically come in and load the products and all that, you do not do that. We don't have anybody in that back end part of the software. That's all set up and done for you. And we actually have an auto relister. So when one of your products sell, it'll go a time frame, and then boom, your project will come back up with another product attached to be on the auction again. So it'll be fully automated. It'll be set up for the duration of the funding of your project, which I'm going to explain here in a minute. So your project is going to link to a penny auction product for funding. And this product that's linked to your project, when it's sold, is going to fund your project. Now, we also give you some bids to use on the penny auction. So you're going to want to use those bids, because now you can have fun while you're getting funded, right? So you're going to go over to the penny auction and pick a product. You're going to bid against others. Of course, you want to watch the timer, because there's a 20-second timer on all the products. And the last bidder who wins pays for their product, and the product ships. Or they can flip it and sell it in the store. So the concept, your project, you bid, you win, we ship, we fund. It's that simple. So not everybody understands how penny auctions work, and we use pennies to bid. So if you have 100 pennies times 50 cents, because each one of our bids is 50 cents, we went kind of in the middle of what the bids cost out there on Deal Dash and Quibids and BZID. Okay, some of them are higher, some of them are Deal Dash, I think sometimes even offers bids at like 13 cents each. They go really low on some of their bids. But Quibids and BZID, you'll see them sometimes as high as 85 cents for their bids. So we wanted to go middle of the road. And so our auction dollar is and has a value of $50. So if you see a product on the auction and it's reached $1, it means that $50 has actually been made on that item. So an item, let's say, that gets up to $5 has brought in $250, okay, on that particular product. But the consumer is only going to spend $5. So you can see where a consumer can save a ton of money, but you, as the retailer, can make a ton of money on the receiving side. We place a reserve on all our products. This ensures that nobody loses money. It ensures that the consumer still gets 70 to 90% off on all the products that they win. And you're going to make great retail sale commissions. So for the first time ever, you can now sell on a penny auction platform without having to own the software, without having to maintain the software. And of course, the more people that you share your projects and your products with, the more money you're going to make on your products when they sell. The great thing about being on the penny auction platform is that it's not just your marketing efforts, but everybody's marketing efforts is going to help contribute to your product selling. Because if I was to see one of your marketing pieces or a banner or an advertisement or something on Facebook that was talking about your project and it had a product link to it, and I clicked your link and I come back, I might not necessarily be interested in the product that was on your project. The great thing is that there's 3 or 4 or 500 more products that are selling, and I can go and shop. And so I'm going to be clicking on other products and bidding on other products. But we have something there for everybody, because if you know marketing, it can be time consuming. It can be expensive depending on what you're doing or how involved you are in the marketing. You don't want to see your marketing efforts go to waste, right? So we have a fix there too, so that nobody has to worry that if they send somebody to the auction that they're going to lose their customer, okay? Because you're not going to lose, nobody's going to lose customers. So we're going to go over the math on a penny auction. Let's say we have an iPad that retails at $800 and it's sold on the auction for $50. 5,000 penny bids, okay, have been placed at 50 cents each. So if you take 5,000 pennies and you times that by 50 cents, you have an item that just brought in $2,500. This is why penny auctions are so super lucrative. It's the penny bid, but that penny has a value of 50 cents. So an iPad that brought in $2,500 actually saved the consumer over 90%. You're not going to walk into Best Buy and get a brand new iPad for 50 bucks. I know, okay, because every time one of my grandkids turns 2, they get a new iPad, and they're about $1,000 each. Then you got to buy the life case, because if you have grandkids like mine and they fall in love with their iPads and then they come jumping out of the bathtub, run to the bedroom, grab the iPad, jump back in the bathtub and soak the iPad into the water with them, you got to have the life proof. So by the time you're done with your iPad, you've got $1,200, $1,300 wrapped up into it. $50 is an awesome deal for anybody that is purchasing at a penny auction. And so that's the type of deals that you see on penny auctions. But on the other end of the coin, the amount of money that you bring in is really incredible. Now, here's how we share as a partner with you on our auction. Your project has just been featured with an iPad, right? So you've got your project posted up on the platform. You are in our auction. You have an iPad assigned to you, okay? And there's tons of products, okay, that bring in a lot of money. You might see a $25 gift card that goes for $600, and an iPad might only go for $300 or $400, okay? But it all evens out and it all washes out based on the algorithms that we use, okay? So let's just say you have your iPad, it retails at $800 and it did sell for $50, all right? The gross amount that came in was $2,500. So we have a net of $1,700. Why? Because we take the $800 retail price off, and we do take off the retail. Okay, that doesn't mean we got it at retail. We do take off what the suggested retail price is, because it allows for other losses, okay, if another product takes a loss. And that's all part of our algorithm to make sure that people don't lose money as the retailer selling products. So it's another buffer that we have in place to make sure that people don't walk away losing money by selling products. Now, this is how we fund projects when your product sells. 20% goes to the project owner. That means that you've created a project, your iPad sells for the $50, $340 is going to go fund your project. 10% is in performance funding. What does that mean? Those of you that are out there marking the bejeebies out of everything, you're driving people to that auction, you're driving people to the CFF store, and you're driving the traffic and the referrals into the business. You're helping us build that business. There's going to be performance funding there. So we take 10%. Now you got to remember, you haven't purchased a package here. Okay, we're giving this to you. This is a 10% performance funding based on the profits that we've made, all right, through the penny auction. We're going to tell you in a minute how this all works. 40% of our profits is going to fund all auction projects. This is the piece where I said, if you're on the auction and you're selling a product and you're marketing, but one of your customers has gone over and shopped on somebody else's project and product, and you think, oh no, I'm going to lose. No, you're not, because 40% of everything that sells on that auction is shared with everybody who has an active auction project and products that are selling. So we take 40% and we share that with everybody. That way, if you do your marketing and you're driving the traffic to the site and somebody else benefited from your marketing, it's okay, because if everybody works together, then everybody benefits. Okay, whether they're shopping on your projects or on somebody else's. And then 30% is coming back to the company. We had to increase it from 20% to 30% because of the CFF brand store. Okay, but it's not going to affect you guys, because we just kind of wrote what the algorithm is to ensure that you can pick it up on your product sales. Now, we offer the traditional crowdfunding. That means anybody can set up a project. You don't have to go to the CFF brand store and purchase any products or anything like that. You just come over and use our crowdfunding platform. The problem is you're still kind of stuck in the old traditional way. So you're going to have to do a ton of marketing, and you're going to have to go to your family and your friends and ask for the support of their donations. And it is free. And then what we do is we just collect 5% fee on all the funds that are received through the donations that you bring in. But those of you that are ready to fund your projects using product sales, this is our crazy good system that we have for you, and we are super excited. Now, we have really enhanced this, this week to really make this incredible for you. Your CFF purchases, this is how it changes lives. Every single art canvas that sells, products are being funded. Why? Because we make profit there, big profit there, okay? And we fund projects. We fund 3 projects, and we look at your family funding tree, and we make sure that we fund the projects that are closest to you. What does that mean? Well, if somebody shared CrowdFund Fast with you, we want to thank them and help fund their project. Whoever shared it with them, we want to help them and fund their project, and so on and so forth. And we'll do this for 3 people. We're going to fund 3 projects based on the products that sell at the CFF brand store. So you go over to the CFF brand store, and let's say you buy $275 worth of artwork. And we're going to have some lower prices there. So you might buy a $25 canvas. The next week, you might buy another $25 canvas. The following week, you might buy another $25 canvas. But when you get to $275 of sales at the CFF brand store, guess what? We're going to give you 8 products to sell in the penny auction. We're going to give you 150 bids. And we're going to fund 3 projects every time, $275 worth of canvas. Now, remember we talked about CrowdFund Fast before. We didn't give you a number of products that you were going to be able to sell. We want everybody to know exactly how many products you're going to get when we give you this package. So $275 worth of products purchased at the CFF brand store is going to allow you to sell 8 products. This is going to be sold generally in approximately 30 days. It might take a little bit more time, and if it does, guess what? That's fine. As long as it takes for you to sell those 8 products, you're going to be on the auction platform. Before, we said 30 days, but what if it takes longer than 30? So we wanted to get rid of that, all right? And then we've also decided with 8 products and with our algorithm, if you're out there marketing, we don't need a threshold for you because you're marketing, you're driving traffic to your products. So why should you have a threshold? No threshold. So it doesn't matter what you make on those 8 products. You make 10 grand on those 8 products. We're happy you just got your project funded. Great. There's no problem there. So we wanted to take away anything that might feel like a hindrance. Okay. Now, if you purchase $650 over in the CFF brand store, we're going to give you 20 products to sell on the penny auction. We're also going to give you 750 bids to use on the penny auction. And we're going to fund 3 projects, 100, 75, and 50. Okay. And of course, using your funding tree, because anybody that's touched your life, we want to touch theirs. And so we're going to help fund their projects. If you spend $1,000 at the CFF brand store, we're going to give you 34 products to sell on the penny auction. We're going to give you 1,000 bids to go play at the auction. And we're going to fund 3 projects in your family funding tree, 200, 150, and 100. You can see here we've got how long you can expect for your products to take to sell. So if you have 20 products, you can expect that it's going to take about 45 days for all your products to sell. Could take longer. The bottom line is that you're going to have 20 products to sell. And while your products are selling, you're sharing in the 40% of all the sales on the auction. Every single day, every single product that sells, 40% is shared with every single person that has products selling on the auction, because you're all working on the same platform. You're all working in the same venue. You don't have your own store, you don't have your own storefront, you don't have your own anything. It's all out there in the open where everybody is marketing to the same platform. If you've spent $2,500 in the CFF brand store, you're having, mind you, all these products are shipped to your home. You can use them as gifts. You can hang them on your wall. They're beautiful. We're going to give you 88 products to sell. And this is going to take around 90 days. It could take a little bit longer, and if it does, that's fine. We're going to give you 3,600 bids to use in the penny auction, and we're going to fund 3 projects on your behalf. And we're going to, again, go through your funding tree and those closest to you. Anybody who shared it with you, who shared it with them, who shared it with them. And we're going to do this for 3 people. Then we have, if you've spent $5,000 in our CFF brand store, we're going to give you 180 products to sell. We're going to give you 7,950 bids, and we're going to fund 3 projects. If you've spent $10,000 in our store, we're going to give you 380 products to sell. We're going to give you 15,600 bids to use, and we're going to fund 3 projects. What's exciting about this is that everything is product driven. You go purchase your products, and we're going to give you credits to advertise and market and sell in our penny auction platform. And you're going to make money on every single product that sells. And of course, the more you're marketing, the more money you're going to make on your products that sell. You don't have to warehouse anything. You don't even have to have your own products to sell. We have a ton of products that are available that will be sold on the auction. You don't have to worry about shipping, nothing. All of that's done for you. All you have to do is create your project and do the marketing and drive people to your crowdfunding project and to your products that are selling. No different than on traditional crowdfunding. The problem is that you run out of people that are going to donate to you. People that don't know you are not going to just donate, okay, on your project. But when you share your project and they can come over and bid and fund your project and still take home something, they're going to be more apt to come over and do that. And through all of your marketing efforts, you're also going to be able to benefit from everybody else's efforts as well, because you're all working together. So we're just going to show you what some potential funding could be based on our iPad example. Now, mind you, we've got many other products, okay? And so it's not always going to be an iPad, but we wanted to give you an example. If you had 8 products that sold at the $340 commission that you received, that'd be $2,720 in funding towards your project, just on those 8 items that sold. That doesn't include any of the 40% that's been set aside for everybody to share that has active products selling in the auction. It doesn't include any of your funding bonuses, none of that. It's just simply your product selling. If you had the 20 products that sold, you could potentially receive up to $6,800 in funding. It could go way over too. You never know. You might end up with 20 products and you might have $15,000 in funding. The more you market, the more you share your products and the concept behind your project being funded with these products, the more money you're liable to make on all of your products. 34 products with the iPad example could receive $11,560 in funding. 88 products sold, $29,920 in funding. 180 products sold, $61,200 in funding. 380 products that sell, you could receive as little as $129,000. Could be lower, could be way higher. You just never know. The bottom line is you've got these products, they're selling in a penny auction, and the more traffic that you have to the penny auction, the more people that are using the penny auction, the higher your profits are going to be. We all talked about a bonus that we were giving, right? Because you guys have been going through our little stumble block here over the last, what's been 3.5 weeks, where we had to go and do some processor changes. And so what we're going to do is extend the time that you were on the auction. But what we've decided to do is increase the amount of products that you sell, which is automatically going to increase the time that you have on the auction, because the more products you have, the longer you'll be on the auction selling products. So it's all going to be the same. And we're going to let everybody know exactly how that works. But the bottom line is we didn't take a single thing away. What we did was we made sure you knew how many products you were going to sell. So you can purchase the same package over at the store. If you go over to the store and you spend $275, you buy a piece of canvas, right? And it's shipped to your home. We're going to give you 8 products to sell and all the bids. You saw that already. You can go back and buy another $275 canvas and you can do it again. You can go back and buy another $275 canvas, you can do it again. You don't have to move up to the next package. You don't have to go up to the next product level. You don't have to do any of that. You can spend and you can purchase your product over at the CFF brand store. And then we're going to give you the equal amount of product based on what your purchases were over there. Now, we're also going to be adding in some lower amounts, okay, down the road. We're not going to do it right now because we really want to manage what we have well. And we feel like 8 products sold is really a good place to start if you're seeking funding. Anything less than 8 products probably isn't going to be as beneficial as you'd like it to be. So once we get moving really smoothly with this, we'll offer some different options, okay, when you want to come over and use our penny auction. And we're going to run it like this long term, okay? We're going to let anybody come in that wants to take advantage of the penny auction, and we're always going to give credits based on products sold. So even our people that are coming in and buying bids, they're going to get products. They're going to purchase something, and we're going to give them the bids. Why? Because we want to make sure that nobody ever walks away empty-handed. And now what we're doing is we're using our platform and we're giving you the rights to use it. Okay? We're giving you full access to be able to sell on our petty auctions. I shouldn't say full access. We're giving you access to the system. We're not going to let you log into the software end of it, okay, guys, because it takes too much learning. Myself, okay, it wraps my brain crazy sometimes when I get in there, I start messing around. But it's all set up to be automated. So if you have gone over and you've spent X amount of dollars in the CFF brand store, we give you X amount of products to sell. We set it all up on an auto lister. One sells, bam, another one comes up. That sells, bam, another one comes up. We're giving you the ability to pick and choose how many products that you want to sell. And when everybody purchases over at CFF, everybody's projects are getting funded. It beats the heck out of going and asking anybody to come in and just donate to you, to your projects, because now there's none of that just give me, but you know what? Come over and let me do something great for you too. Come over and bid, win some great products, make any purchase that you want. You're going to help us fund our project, but you're going to walk away with something. That's the whole thing. We don't ever want anybody to walk away from any of our platforms empty-handed, period. So we want to make sure that everybody always gets a really nice product, period. If you're going to spend money, we want you to spend money on something that's going to be, you're going to look at it and go, wow, this is really cool. And guess what? That piece of art that's hanging on my wall, it changed my life. That piece of art that's hanging on her wall, it changed her life. Because through those product sales, you are now getting the entry into platforms that you would not otherwise have access to. So we want to make sure everybody understands that crowdfunding is for everyone, and everyone can get funded through product sales. We don't have any monthly membership fees. The QCBID penny auction, every time products sell there, it's funding your projects. So you can get registered today. You can start your campaign today. You can start getting funded today. So what do you want to do? Well, you want to get back to the person who shared this presentation with you so you can start getting funded today.